Another lefty loon with zero intelligence and humour. You sound like lefty snowflake prick. What a boring tosser. Welcome to the depths of my comment section, 2022. Greetings and welcome. Now, yesterday I put a post out on my community page for some ideas of some sort of end of year wrap up. Seems to be popular, what YouTube people seem to do, isn't it? I might end up doing all of these, but you voted for this one. So we're going to lurk. We're going to go into the depths of my comment section and see what lurks at the underbelly of the depraved comments that I get in my videos. It should be fun. I just went on my channel. I just done some generic searches through my comments, like lefty prick, communist twat, Ramona, and see what will come up. So I've screenshotted a few here, so let's have a look and we'll react to some of these comments. Okay, first up, Van man, you're absolutely full of shit. Everyone knows politicians are full of shit, yet you on a live stream said you follow the general consensus. So why say Mog is full of shit? Then you are thick, you are complete hypocritical bellend. Had to add the bellend at the end there, just being hypocritical isn't enough. That I'm a bellend as well. Okay. So I guess what he's talking about is when I done a live stream with Anna and Reverend Simon, we were debating climate change, and my whole position, the whole point that I kept banging forward is none of us are scientists, but I believe the general consensus of scientists. So when someone like Charles Darwin comes along, he comes along and goes, "Oh, you lot, everyone, look, we're all here because of natural selection and evolution," and everyone goes, "What are you talking about? That's rubbish." They go off, do their own tests, they come back and they go, "Oh shit, actually you're right, Charles Darwin." And then the general consensus of scientists builds. You've still got some on the fringe that are doing their own weird thing and don't trust it and stuff like that. But the general consensus of the majority of scientists come together. And because I'm not a scientist, that's what I trust, the general consensus of science. The thing is, Ricky, that doesn't really work with politics, mate. I'm not going to trust Jacob Rees-Mogg because politics is subjective, it's opinion. There's no right or wrong way to run a country. It's opinion. So you can't really have a consensus of all the House of Commons come together. It doesn't work with politics, Ricky. Thanks for your comment. I mean, I hope you come back again sometime and watch some more. I'll pass you calling me a bellend, but you know, we'll see. What you mean legitimate vote of British people and is being ignored by the government? Van man, you're a fucking muppet. Would you let 27 of your neighbours take 20% of your wages, then tell you how to spend the rest of your money, how to bring up your kids? I doubt you have any. Where you can and can't go. Just ramblings of a madman. Should we try and get into the head of this guy, Mal Baker? Should we try and dissect this and actually understand what he's talking about? What you mean legitimate vote? Okay, so I guess he's going on about the referendum. What you mean legitimate vote of British people is being ignored by government. Well, I mean, it's not being ignored by government. We have BREXIT. It's doing untold damage to our economy. Van man, you're a fucking muppet. Would you let 27 of your neighbours take 20% of your wages? Very specific on the numbers here, isn't it? 27. I guess he's banging on about immigration. I guess he's saying that, 20% of immigrants don't pay tax, or I'm paying tax. I can't do it. I can't get in the head of this guy. It's just ramblings of a madman. I can't do it. I can't do it. You reckon that average leave voting non-middle class wine drinker gives any shits that Mr. Wine Merchant can't import his overpriced European plonk as easily as before? And why is it that in Morrison's they've got wine from every continent on their shelves? Seen the price of that wine recently? Nearly doubled from before. Okay, so he's going on about Brexit. So this is about, I guess, the Jacob Rees-Mogg when he was on Question Time and he got confronted by a wine merchant, a owner of a wine business, that was describing how chaotic it is and how much harder it is to import export after Brexit. So, I mean, basically all this guy is saying is fuck him, isn't it? Basically, so his whole comment is, why would anyone give a shit about a middle class business owner? So why do... This is the thing though, isn't it, about Brexit? We're supposed to be seeing the benefits, right? So where are the benefits? Okay, you don't give a shit about local businesses. That's up to you if you don't want to give a shit. But the whole point of you voting for Brexit was so businesses could thrive, right? So we could see benefits. So it would benefit businesses that import and export. So yeah, I mean, that comment is just, I don't really give a shit. That's it, isn't it? Or why would working class people give a shit about a business of wine selling? But I mean, this is just one example, mate, isn't it? I mean, the examples are untold throughout businesses of all different natures, working class businesses, fisheries. Nonsense, absolute rubbish, absolute tosh. Oh dear, absolute garbage. Maybe you should keep your eyes on the road instead of doing doing pathetic podcasts. You might end up killing someone. Oh, well, you'll be glad to know that since doing these videos, I have killed 0 people. A stat that I'm very proud of. I get this comment quite a lot. Usually when someone has got no argument for the points that I bring up on my video, they can't have any sort of intelligent debate about the points that I make in my video. They go straight for, oh, you shouldn't be driving while filming. I get this comment all the time. Look, it's not against the law. So many people have cameras in their vans. Taxi drivers, in case they get in some sort of altercation. Lorry drivers, van drivers, most van drivers, especially ones that are delivering cash and stuff like that, they have cameras all over filming their cabins of their van. It's no different. I have a camera on and I'm talking as if I had a passenger in my car. It's not illegal, it's not dangerous. I am an extremely safe driver. I drive very, very slow due to my electric van, trying to save energy, so I'm trying to save the battery. I'm a very safe driver and I've killed 0 people, so there you go. I would rather have a corrupt government than some dangerous idiot filming himself while he's supposed to be driving. Oh God! Oh, this is why we have the problems in this country. Guys like this vote. They vote. He'd rather have a corrupt government than some guy in his van talking while the camera's on. God, it's just, these guys vote. These people are voting. This is why we have the government that we have right now, because people like this idiot are voting. You'd rather have a corrupt government. You don't mind a corrupt government. Imagine if you go to some of the, these countries, well, UK may be among them now, but you have these countries that are have ultra corrupt governments. I've been to the Philippines quite a few times. They have massive problems with corruption in their governments that are just stopping progress from these countries. They just can't progress because of this, and it's a massive problem. Imagine going to them going, would you rather sort out the corruption in your government or stop that guy over there filming in his van? Oh, stop the guy filming in his van, definitely. That's obviously problem number. These people vote. They vote. Since we left, Nazi Germany has annexed Belfast and Kiev, killing 300,000 and putting hundreds of millions in starvation. Nothing to do with Putin. No, Putin hasn't got any say that. Okay, I guess what this guy Richard is trying to say is Nazi Germany is the EU, and they're trying to annex Belfast because of the problems with Brexit. No problem before, but we voted for that problem. And Kiev. I mean, hasn't Ukraine been trying to apply for EU membership for years now? If Nazi Germany, as he says, the EU, wanted to take on board Ukraine, just accept them as a member. Why would they? What's a war got to do with it? And of course, Putin. Yeah, there's nothing to do with Putin at all. Ramblings of a madman. Absolute mad, insane comments. Okay, you are a lefty by your own admission. All the problems in this country stem from woke. All of them. Our children are being brainwashed. Money being wasted. It just goes on. It's about time you notice things. I would like to see an IQ test from you. I need to see your intelligence. If I had to guess, your IQ is about 90. Oh, you hit me in the heart. Oh no. Don't take the piss out of my IQ. Don't do that. So yeah, all problems, every single problem in this country is to do with woke. My bins weren't collected last week after Christmas. That's because Halifax put pronouns on their badges. I mean, of course, this is absolute tosh, isn't it? Absolute rubbish. There's this thing that I see in a lot of right-wing commentators and stuff like this, where they think that woke is the downfall of society. Like this guy, every problem in this country is due to woke. I mean, I'd say that the majority of the problems in this country is 12 years of Tory mismanagement of this country. But no, it's because Gregs have now put pronouns on their badges. Given the option for staff to put pronouns on their badges, it's weird, isn't it? Problems with the NHS is because the new Princess Disney is black, or whatever bollocks they're banging on about this time. But it's weird, but generally people actually believe this. Like, NHS is a good example. There are a lot of people that actually generally believe that the problems in the NHS are down to these managers that they have that make sure they keep racism and stuff like that in check. Diversity managers, I think they're like 0.00001% of the NHS budget that are there to make sure that there's no racism going on, because there's a lot of different ethnic groups and stuff like that. But people generally believe that they're the reason that the NHS has got so many problems. Not 12 years of the Tories trying to privatise it. And you know what, I'll be honest, this doesn't just include the Tories. This goes back to Blair. Blair done a lot of privatisation of the NHS during his years. But the stealth privatisation from the Tories, because of course the NHS does not coincide with a Conservative government, a Tory government, a right-wing government, an extremely socialist health service. The two don't go ahead, so of course they want to get rid of it. Years and years of underfunding, understaffing, and the stealth privatisation of the NHS is why we got so many problems. There is a lot of people that generally believe it's down to diversity managers. Nonsense. Fat Man talks bollocks. If brains were explosive, you wouldn't have enough to blow your hat off, mate. Just my opinion, you understand. I love that. Maybe I went a bit too far. It's just my opinion. You understand, don't you? Yeah, great. I mean, I don't know how long it took you to come up with that superb, witty comment that you just come up with there, but what are you going to do? Oh, we've got another Brexit one here, I think, haven't we? Yeah. Millions of Ramonas bitter at leaving the EU. Why didn't they up sticks any time between 2016 and 2020? For every person who couldn't, plenty could have done. Ireland is still open. Move to Ireland for 5 years and get an Irish passport. I moved in 2016, already have permanent residency and a passport in a couple of years, and I'm a leaver, so can't see what stopped thousands from doing what I did instead of whinging on YouTube about how awful Brexit was. That has got to be the single most ridiculous argument I've ever heard for Brexit. It's absolutely insane. So basically he's saying that everyone that's unhappy about Brexit, everyone that voted to remain, should go and move to Ireland for 5 years. What was it, 20 odd million? 20 odd million of us. Come on, lads, let's move over to Ireland. It's moronic. And the cheek of it, he voted for Brexit and then pissed off to the EU and got himself an EU passport. I mean, doesn't that just completely undermine your whole argument that you're talking about the benefits of having an EU passport and you voted to leave? What a prick. You're like, oh, I'm going to vote for Brexit. Fuck you lot in the UK. You deal with it now. I'm pissing off to the EU. I've got my nice EU passport. I've never heard a more moronic That again, it comes back to benefits. Aren't we supposed to have benefits? So he's saying, piss off to Ireland and get an EU passport. Yeah, the whole of the UK. Let's go. Ramblings of a madman. You're just absolutely nuts. Absolutely bloody nuts. Absolutely nuts. Okay, right. So we got our good friend, ex-British Army Paz here. Flag shaggers. How many flags represent the many demographics worshipped by the left? The right may shag the one great Union flag, but at least we don't breed them. So I guess this was a comment about my video that I'd done. Flag shaggers. Can't stand 20% of Britons are not white. He's not happy about my use of flag shaggers as a little bit of a joke. But the same thing with Pat. It's a little bit disappointing, really, because again, he doesn't actually want to address the points that I made in the video. The video was about the recent census and immigration, and I was talking about the positives of immigration. Everyone seems to forget the massive amount of tax revenue that is brought in from immigration that helps fund our public services, our NHS, all these things. But he doesn't want to debate or talk about what I said in the video. He just wants to bring up flags. So basically his comment is, oh, well, lefties have got lots of flags too. Okay, all right. Do you want to address the points of my video that I was making about immigration? No? And funny enough, actually, the strange thing about it is his good friend Anna, who I've spoke to on many occasions, we've had many discourse, but we've always done it civilly, and we mainly disagree, but she actually had a very good example of this a few comments down, where she put out, I don't necessarily agree with all the points that she's making here, but she's put out her argument against immigration, the drain on public services. She's actually decided to communicate about the points that I made on the video quite nicely. Paz, on the other hand, just, well, lefties have got lots of flags. Yeah, that was just a stupid title of the video. You know how YouTube works. He put a clicky style title in the video, flag shagger wankers, way, yeah, and then you come in and you get to the grips of the video. It's just a shame, really. I guess that's why he's never wanted to chat to me on the many occasions that I've asked to chat to him. He'd rather hide behind his friends and send Anna. Anna's capable of a conversation with me, but he doesn't want to. Anyway, and on the subject of Anna, I pulled up a few. We're getting to the really nasty stuff now, but I thought I'd include this because yeah, there's some real nasty stuff. When I done my live stream on Anna's channel, where we were discussing immigration and climate change and all these things, there were some quite nasty comments here. So we got, this creep needs to meet me, please. So I guess, I don't know, he wants to harm me in some way, I guess. I would be in jail if I met him. Okay, he definitely wants to. I still get the impression this guy is probably like some skinny little runt on a keyboard. All big and tough behind a screen, aren't you? Jill Bates. I pray Pakistanis meet his kids. Nah, God, that's not. I mean, we were talking at that point. We were on the subject of Pakistani, Muslim grooming gangs and stuff like that. So yeah, he's just saying that he wants someone to rape my kids, which is nice, isn't it? It's nice. Lovely. Again, do you want to discuss the points I made, or do you just want to put disgusting, depraved shit like that? Anyway, that's all of it. I maybe could have found more. I mean, there's loads in there, but to be honest, it's not the most fun experience trailing through all my comments to look for nasty shit. But I hope you enjoyed. That's what you voted for, so you got it. And yeah, I mean, I guess the overriding theme there is I'm happy to debate people about my politics and the points of my videos if you want to do it calmly, but just lefty snowflake communist cunt. It's just, you got no argument, mate. You got no argument. Anyway, till next time, hope you enjoyed. See you soon.